Hello there.
Hey everyone.
Yes, I'm Akhaze and
Folasade.
yes, my lovely wife here. Yes, how you all doing? This is the second video in our series. I hope you watched the first one. If you've not watched the first one, please kindly go back and check the channel. If you see I'm also going to link it up in this video. Yes, so we started a series in the last video, marking our 14th year anniversary, wedding anniversary. Yes, we clocked 14 years in marriage on the 20th of August 2025. So we started a series, the first part of our series, where we talked about what we did before, or what we did and what you should do before even getting and before finding a spouse. That's what we talked about in the first video. So you can go and watch that video. Today we want to talk about the after the wedding and the early years, from excitement to reality. That is the theme or the crux of our video today. The wedding and the early years, from excitement to reality. You know, many aspiring couples and singles, they feel that the wedding is the main thing. When they get engaged, they do what they begin to talk about the wedding. They feel the wedding is the hard part. But I tell you, the marriage is the most important thing. In fact, it's the hardest part, and that's why you need to begin to plan ahead while you are still courting. And that's what those are some things we talked about in our first video. Can you go and watch that video? So today we're talking about the wedding and the early years. And there was something you mentioned. When we were closing the first video. The first video you talked about, and which we want to start with now. That planning for the wedding. You know, you said something. Planning for the wedding. What must you do to plan? I mean, how should you plan for the wedding? You brought up a point.
How far should you plan? How far should you?
How much should you budget? Yes, you said something about don't break the bank. I want us to start.
Yes.
Quickly, I want to start with this.
So,
yeah,
it all depends on what you want.
Yes.
And also what you can afford.
Yeah.
What you can easily do.
Yeah.
Like they used to say, it's before they would say cut your coat according to your size.
Yeah.
But sometimes you cut your coats according to your clothes, according to the material.
Yeah.
The size of the material that you have. You know? Like we have already said, we have already established.
Yeah.
The life after the marriage itself is the most important thing.
Yes.
It's not the wedding that people will come, those that love you, those that doesn't love you.
Yeah.
You know? That's not the most important thing. Although it's good to have what you can afford and what you will be happy with. And more importantly, don't worry yourself about whether somebody eat or some people did not eat. And that was what I did in my own time. We had a plan, we had a budget, cater for like 250 to 500. I can't remember.
I think it was 500.
It was a big honestly, if I had, it's just that I came from a very large family, and but if it is now that I want to do something like that, I want to do something that's as big as that. And although we really had a good plan, we did not do more than we can do.
Yeah.
We were able to pay everything. We do everything. I think we do everything. We were able to pay for everything before.
Yeah, we didn't have any debt. In fact, the only person at the end of the wedding, the only person we had not paid
completely
was the photographer, because he told us that we shouldn't. He didn't want to call. He didn't want to get the full payment. He wanted to, after the wedding, he wanted to come and show us some samples of photo book.
Photo book.
Yeah, so that was the only person. By God's grace, at the end of the wedding,
the day you bought it, I think we paid.
As soon as he came after the honeymoon,
yes,
he showed us the samples of what we want to do,
and we settled
him, we paid it, and that was it. Yes,
we were able to. We have things that, in fact, our house was full. We have food.
Yes,
we were not begging anybody for anything. Nobody was knocking our door.
After 14 years, we are not.
Nobody was knocking our door that we are owing or something. That we are not owing house rent, everything.
We're not owing anybody.
So my advice, my advice to people is that if you are planning your wedding,
yes,
do something according to your
what
size.
You have,
something that you can conveniently do.
Sure.
See, there's no need to be put under pressure.
No need.
Don't copy people.
Yeah.
Because once everybody close their door, you are all on your own.
In fact, let me tell you that if people come to your wedding and they say, "Oh, this wedding is the best wedding I ever attended in my life."
Out.
The next Saturday, not even next month. The next
that
Saturday.
Day itself, if you compare all the wedding all the wedding that happened that day.
Let's even be conservative. The next Saturday.
Another wedding.
And if those people attend on our, because if they're in your wedding, they won't be able to attend on our.
Yes.
But if those people go to another wedding the next Saturday, they will say, this wedding is the best. So that one that we thought was the best. Oh, that one old school now. That is what they will say. So you don't need to kill yourself because you want to break the bank,
do something that
go into debt, because you want to please people.
More importantly, save for yourself, save for your future,
marriage,
save for your children. Honestly, that's the most important thing. Conserve things. If you can do it conveniently, fine. There's no need. Do yourself. Be happy, but don't do things because this is what is trending or this is what other people are doing.
No, not at all.
It's not safe.
And let me tell you, see, the level of grandeur of your wedding is not a determinant of how durable your wedding will be. That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
And I keep on saying, I've told a number of people, especially younger people, that if I could wind back the hands of time and say, okay, we want to do a wedding and we want to do a wedding now, I might not do a large or a big wedding like what we did. Because I look at it that, okay, yes, good, we finished the wedding with dinner, we're not owing anybody. But we look at it that, okay, what's all those things we went to do, we got a big hall, we did this, we photographer, and how much do we... Let me tell you this story before we go to the next thing. Let me tell you this, now. The first day, during our courtship, there was a time when we said, okay, let's sit down and talk about how much will this wedding cost, She has been telling me, let us sit down, let's talk. I said, okay, I will just postpone it. But one day I said, okay, I told her, look, go and put a budget down and let us discuss it. So I came to her shop. I remember. I came to her shop and I said, okay, what's the budget now? She gave me a list. This was 2011, yes, 2011. She gave me a list of 800,000 naira. And I was, in fact, you forgot it. I left your shop in anger. I left you. You can't remember. I can still remember. I left her shop in anger. Why was I angry? Because I said, 800,000 for a wedding. Yeah. And what was another thing that was making me angry was that 800k, I've never saved that kind of money in the bank or in my account. That okay, the highest I ever saved was 400,000 naira, and that was before I used that 400,000 to get my first apartment. I left my parents' house. That's the highest I ever saved in the bank. So I say, I've not saved 800,000 somewhere or invested in something, and I want to spend it for a wedding. I was angry. I left her shop in anger. In fact, usually I would greet your mom. Your mom was, her mom was close. Had also a shop close to hers there. Usually, if I come and see, I'll greet her mom before I go and before I enter. And when I'm leaving, I'll greet her mom. I didn't greet her mom. I left angry. Tell you how, you forgot it. But I know I was angry. Like, how come? But later, I still have to come back to my son. Let us see. I said, how do we cut down this? But when I look at it, that okay, eventually, I want to believe we will spend over that amount of money. I want to believe that eventually we spend over the 800k, even though I was angry about it. But the truth of the matter is that, when I look at it, that we could have said done it small. And nowadays, we are seeing some examples of some very small family wedding and things like that. Or a pastor comes to the house and comes to the house and come and bless the couple. Yeah. Or on Sunday, on Sunday service. Doing Sunday service.
Something that they call intimate marriage.
Doing Sunday service, they will just even call them
between your parents
and
the two parents.
Yes, and the two families, and that's all. So that's it. So don't break the bank for a wedding, because wedding is just a day event. The marriage is the critical thing. What you do in your courtship is what is critical. Okay, let's go on to. Okay, now let's talk about marriage expectations versus reality.
Okay.
Were we really shocked after our marriage? A lot of people say, we experienced shock after the I think we talked about it in the other video. Some people say, they were really shocked in after their wedding that about maybe their spouses or whatever. But were we really shocked?
No,
We were not really
not
shocked.
really shocked.
Not because
in the sense that because we have had some levels of counselings and trainings.
We also asked questions and found out
there was no much surprises. Yes. There was no much surprises. We have been trained, we have been lectured, and then we still have our counselors,
Of course, even after the wedding.
Still counseling us, seeing us through some aspect of the marriage.
So the shock was not, and I put something. I said the level of the shock depends on what you have done previously in your courtship. What you do in your courtship, or what you do or don't do in your courtship, is what will determine the level of shock you experience. The early days of your marriage. You understand? If you do your courtship very well, like I mentioned in my first video, there's a book that I wrote that talks about eight things that you need to do in your courtship to have a successful marriage. It's for singles most especially. I'll link it somewhere in the description or the pinned comments. So go and get it. It talks about the things that we need to do. In courtship. If you do those things, if you discuss those things, if you ask those questions, and you come to reasonable conclusions, you will have less of shock in your marriage. That's the truth. So for us, we did not have so much of a shock. You understand? Although marriage is a reality against the hair, people have high expectations. This guy, he has
saying that marriage is a black market. You don't know what you want to get. I don't know.
Well. So one thing is about sometimes you might be expecting that this lady or this guy, he's been so nice to me. He's been so caring. He takes me to all the eateries.
Honestly,
but now, in the marriage,
he's not doing that.
He's not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. If in courtship, there is so much pretense. That's when you'll be shocked.
Yes.
But if you are sincere with each other, you have shown your real self.
Sincerity.
You have shown your real self.
That's so important.
Or you are trying to, as much as possible, you have been able to reveal who you are. The things that you won't take.
Yes.
Let it be known that
very correct.
I won't take this.
Yes.
And the thing that you yourself, let him know that. But if you are pretending during the courtship, that's when you will now. Sometimes you will not be able to continue the pretense again when you get to the marriage.
No, the truth, that's why I say marriage. They say love is blind, but marriage is an eye opener.
Yes.
Because when you get into the marriage, the guy that has been opening the car door for you, or that has been what other thing they do, being very gentlemanly, because he wants to win your heart.
Yes.
But you felt that he was just doing that, but you didn't maybe try and prove that this guy is he being genuine or not, is he being honest or not. After the wedding now, he does not open car door for you. If he enters the car and he's waiting for you to enter, say, please come and enter. You say, I thought you were doing that before. No. So you need to
what you won't continue.
Yes.
What you won't do.
Like what you accept.
There's an adage that people used to say that what you won't accept as a rich man, it is why you are poor that you will stop. You will not take it.
Yes.
Let it be known. This I don't do this.
Sure. Sure.
So if you are not the type that is open door,
why should you be doing? That was something that I was very careful about. I didn't want you to
feel.
I don't want to do something that I know I could not continue.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That's why in our courtship, the issue of going to the movies, I'm not a like social person, outdoor person like that. So I never took her on. I never did that so much with her. Because I know that I'm not that kind. I know it's not so. Even if I do it in courtship, I cannot do it it's not something I can continue. So she accepted me like that, and now we are together. And we are so that's it. We need to be sincere. Sincerity is very important. Okay, quickly now. First major adjustments. Or what are some major adjustments we had to make when we got married? What are the major things that we were not used to, but we now had to become used to? In terms of personality,
there's no if two people are coming from different backgrounds and coming together to stay together, there will be a lot of adjustments. There will be a lot of compromise. For example, when I was going in my house then. As at that time, before getting married, I have my cousins at home. They are the one cooking. I'll just just come home, seafood, eat, and like that. But I can't remember cooking at that time again. because I have junior those ones at home.
Yeah.
So, but now I don't have any help. I'm the one that has to be cooking.
Yeah.
And if I look at where I was coming from, the kind of food that we used to eat, it's kind of different from what you were eating when you first got married. So I have to make a lot of adjustments in that area.
Good.
I have to go and learn
how to cook.
What you are eating,
yes,
and what has become what we are eating.
We do.
Yes.
We do. Me, I don't
yes.
like we do.
And so
like that. It's not that I don't eat ewedu.
We eat stew with ewedu ewedu and okra. That's where we eat at,
Yeah.
But you are used to even our own egusi. In the way we use our egusi, we don't put
leaf. We don't put leaf and all those things.
We don't put leaf in our
Yes. Yeah. So
So like that, sir. So
yes. That's true. That's very true.
So there is adjustment in that area.
Yes.
And then in some other areas there are some little adjustments.
Eating times, eating habits. Those things we had to
plan for.
We had to make adjustments. When we first started, we used to eat together, but later on, what happened? Because of my work, the way I had to work very late at night, because I was on my own. I was self-employed later. Just less than a year after we got married, I became self-employed. I was on my own, so I had to. When I have deliverables, I have to work in late in the night. And I'm someone that if I eat like 8 or 9, I will just sleep off. And I won't be able to do my work. So that began to affect. She want us to eat together. But because I'm not ready to eat, I said, okay, go and eat, so it's not affected at all. So we had to just adjust, those things.
There's so many other things.
Because there are things that, a lot of things you need to adjust to, depending on your idiosyncrasies, the things you love to do.
So as long as you want this marriage to work,
yes,
you'll be ready to make adjustments.
Yeah.
And it's not something that is just going to be on one person's part.
Yes.
It's the two.
Of course.
It's the two people involved in it.
Both people have to decide to adjust.
The adjustment.
Yes.
It is very, very
important. Both have to decide to adjust.
It's very important. If I'm coming up, you should be coming down.
Yes. Both parties come to
so that you can
midpoint.
Come to a point of compromise.
I agree. Okay, so that's on major adjustments. So we had some adjustments we needed to do, which you need to plan for. Very important. Plan for. So now the next one, I want to talk about disagreements without destruction. How did we've argued? We actually, we've had a lot of arguments. So 14 years is a long time. And there's no way, like she said something a short while ago, that when you are from both different backgrounds, even if you have known yourself from primary school and you eventually got married, I've learned that knowing somebody from maybe you will grow up together, you are not family, but you grew up to your family friend, is a different kettle of fish when you get married.
Yes.
It's a different. So, and that's why, and when you find that a lot of times, such people, if they get married, they have a lot of shocks because they feel that I've known this person from donkey years. But you see, someone that like a friend,
it's different by the time.
But when you now start living in the same room,
by the time people come closer, you see a lot of things that you cannot see. So, it's just as if be like magnifying glasses.
Yes.
The more closer it is, the more magnified some things will be.
Sure. So now, what I'm even getting to is that a lot of disagreements will come. Someone said that the only place where people will not offend you is in the grave. That's the truth. As far as you are a couple from different backgrounds, different homes, even family brothers and sisters, they offend themselves. Talk less of people home. So there will be disagreements. So we had a lot of disagreements. We had a lot of arguments. But now, how did we do it such that? How did we go through those arguments and disagreements and without destroying each other? Without, by God's grace, this is 14 years. I've never slapped her. Talk less of beating her, or talk less of hauling any abusive word at her. You are here.
Yeah.
Neither has she done such words to me. So how did we have disagreements, arguments
what has helped us
without destroying each other?
It's the communication.
Yeah.
Like I have always said, nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
If I'm seeing anything wrong in you, there are some things that are wrong in me.
Yeah.
So when you treat each other with mercy, and you communicate, you bring out the things that are issue.
Sure.
Let's talk it out.
Sure.
And just like you have said, you are able to reach compromise and we move forward. People do argue. People do argue, but there's no how. You can always talk things out and move forward.
Yeah. So it's very important for you to, so and one thing I must say very important is that one of you must seek to quell the disagreement or the argument. One of you must seek to quell it. You understand? When we have disagreement, a lot of times I'm the one that's I'm the one that's
calling to back.
Yeah, that will call her and say, look, let's talk.
There's
something we need to resolve. Which is very important, because if both parties say you offended me, I offended you, or you offended me, and everybody goes their separate ways and stays like that for over time, that is how you see marriages begin to go down. That's how you see marriage begin to, they keep on going apart. Later, infidelity and all those things coming, because both parties don't want to come to the point where they say, okay, let's discuss, let's resolve this thing. Why are we doing this thing?
Why is this thing happening?
So it is very important that each party must have in mind that, look, we must make this marriage work. We must, if we have disagreements, we like they say, we disagree to agree. So it's very, very important. Very important. Very important. Okay.
And most times, when you are having issues or disagreement, sometimes I'm right, you think you are right, I'm right. And sometimes maybe the two of you may not even be right. If you have the mindset that I cannot know it all.
Yes.
Maybe just give yourself some level of doubt. Okay, what if this time around I'm not right?
Yeah.
Why can't I listen to what you're saying? Or
yes.
Well,
it's very important. It's very important. We need to cool temper for each other. Yeah. So now I want to talk about. I think we are getting to the one now. External battles. Did we have any issue with family interference? Have you ever had issue with family interference? Because that is what a lot of couples, especially in their first 2-3 years, they face a lot of this, depending on.
One of the things that help us in that aspect is that, thank God, as we started small.
Yeah.
We started with a room and bed,
Yeah, room and parlor, self-contained. Yeah, that's where we started.
For external.
Yes, so anybody that's saying they want to sleep, they sleep inside, they go sleep on the floor.
And it's not couch. And you cannot leave many of our family. Yes. You can't leave your luxury bed to come and say you want to sleep.
Yeah, on the floor, on couch.
So there was no much interference. It was just the two of us starting things, learning to know each other. And thank God that there was some delay. All things work together for good. That delay, birth delay, as in
delay in having
children, yes. It kind of make us to really have time to learn each other, to know each other for the kind of first 4 years of our marriage. So it was just the two of us. We get to know each other. When I'm moody, when things are right. We were able to learn each other.
Yes.
So really study each other. So I know. In fact, I used to say then that if my husband is on a phone with anybody, if I hear the conversation, I will know the person he's talking to.
Yeah, because
there's nothing that is
very important.
I know so much.
Yeah.
If he's talking
about each other,
we know so much about each other.
Yeah.
So if he's talking on phone with anybody, any of his clients, I know what they are discussing. Yeah. Once I hear the discussion, I know what is going on. Yeah. So we had time to do that because there was no child to interfere. Yeah. Everything was we were able to study each other. So it's kind of helped us also. Yeah. So there wasn't much, and there was no space for any external person to say, "Want to come and stay in the house," or you think he's making calls. You are hearing something and you don't know what is happening, and you kind of so. There wasn't much. There wasn't something like that.
And one thing that also helped us. That's why it's very important for you to discuss in your courtship about your marriage. Very important. Not just plan for the wedding, like you have said before. That's why I say, please go get that book that I talked about, which I will link somewhere around here. One of the things that you need to talk about in your courtship is the issue of in-laws, or the issue of the issue of in-laws. To what extent? Because you find that a lot of marriages have had problems ab initio
it,
because as soon as they get married, maybe after the honeymoon, one brother comes to start living, especially the brother of the husband comes to start living, or sister of somebody or whatever, starts living with them,
making things uncomfortable for each other.
Understand? A couple from very starting.
It's one of the counseling that
I'm going to that. That's one of our our counsel, our marital counselors. They told us that it's very important. Please, early on in your marriage, don't have
anybody to come
third
into
parties.
the house.
You understand? Because it causes a lot of crisis. A lot of homes that are broken up or that are in crisis today. It is those things that
part of it.
Because and one thing is that especially we in Africa here, but I don't know about, let me not say Africa. We in Nigeria here. Once a brother or somebody start living with you, it is not easy it's very hard
to send them away. When are you going in?
You understand? It sounds
disrespectful.
You will
they carry your matter to the village and to the village or family. And the wife is like this.
See what this one is saying. See what that one is saying. Now some people say, is this what you
that's how you start having
that's the reason why
unnecessary enemies.
Don't even allow it to even start an issue.
In fact, that's why it's better. If you are just starting, it's better you start very small.
Just two of you.
Small, that you won't even give people space, chance. Because when they see that there's a room available, that's when it's can I come and stay overnight before you know it?
By God's grace, for many years now,
for 4 years.
Even after 4 years. Our in-laws don't really know what is really happening amongst us. Because we decided to say, okay, whatever issues, everything stays within us. Whatever issues we have, whatever challenges, your agreement or disagreement is us. We have never, till date, I'm not sure if we have ever gone to any family member to say, come and resolve problems in our. It's not that we've not had disagreements, serious disagreements. Of course, we have not do basbos ever. By God's grace, we have never done, but we have had heated arguments and disagreements. But we have never ever said,
I'm taking your mother.
I'm going to call your mother. I'm going to call your father. I'm going to call your sister or your mom or your abu or your younger one or something. Or I'm going to call your pastor. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying it's not
good.
If there are challenges, but by God's grace,
that can truly help you.
By God's grace, we have not gotten to that. We now got to that point in these 14 years. So it's very important, your man. And if you discuss in your courtship that look, as we are starting our marriage, no third party, no in-laws, no whatever, and you both agree, you understand? Then you know that as you're starting the marriage, those things will not. If anybody is trying to suggest
but it's advisable that you have people that you can give accountable. That you are accountable.
No, of course, no. That one is sure.
I remember there was a time that we were having issues that you were saying that you will call Henry or Baba.
Okay.
Can't remember that day. But when you say you call Henry or Baba, immediately I changed.
Okay.
And if you have people that you know that
that are accountable,
that your spouse is very, very important.
Very, very important.
Anybody that is not accountable to anybody is a danger.
In fact, that's one of the things that when the other video when we were talking about some specs, some things like you either red flag, green flag.
Anybody that doesn't have somebody that is accountable to.
Very important.
Like I know somebody that I can talk. When I want to say something about you, I know somebody that I can call, call you,
to call me to order. If I thought there's
we have those people,
but
we have never used them. But we know that. I pray by God's grace we won't have any cause to do that because we ourselves we can talk to ourselves. But there are those people in our life that if I say I want to talk to this person about you.
Which is very important. So one quick if I brought up a very good point, which we have even omitted in some other videos, that one of the red flags that you should be aware of if you want to marry somebody, if you are watching there and you're not married, does the person have any? If the person doesn't have anybody he's accountable to, you don't have anybody that if he misbehaves or she misbehaves, you can call upon to talk some sense into him or her. Then that person is not it's not a good person to marry you, because that person is like I don't want to call it a time bomb or a lone wolf. I don't know. Somebody that you cannot control. Nobody can control him. Even his parents cannot talk to him or her.
It's not good.
There is a problem there. So anybody you are going
Because-
to end up with, that person
Yes.
should have a accountability, someone
that
is
is
accountable
accountable
to,
to.
accountability partner, or
Somebody that
a
is
mentor,
respected.
a mentor,
Somebody
yes.
you respect that
Yes.
if you say, sit down here, what's
Yes.
happening?
Yes,
What you have done is wrong.
yes,
And that thing is very, no matter how high you are in life, you should have people like that.
of course.
People that can talk
No
to you.
matter-
Because,
no matter
moment-
how
how high
you
you,
do.
because sometimes, once people begin to get money,
Yeah.
people cannot tell you the truth again.
That's true.
They will be, because you are giving people money, they may not be able to be open, honest with you and tell you that what you are doing is
psychophants.
what you are doing. But the moment you are, don't ever try to get to that stage.
Of course.
Don't get to that stage.
course.
And it's something that you have to do intentionally by being humble yourself.
Yes, very important.
Yes.
Very important. So, yeah, that's good. Now we have 1 or 2 questions before we round up. How do you balance? Some people are asking. Maybe asking. How do you balance personal dreams or goals with marriage and family life? How do you balance? You have a personal dream, How do you balance it with marriage and family life? You understand? Because before you go say you want to get married to somebody, unless you are unless you are someone that is visionless, or everybody has where they want to get to, where they want to go to in life before they ever talk about I want to settle down and marry. So how do you balance marriage? You understand? Now you are not married, you now have a
So for me,
in
that aspect, number one, your family come first. Once you are married, if you are going to be married,
okay,
your family come first. The Bible says that, like say, your body, you are no more your yourself.
Yeah.
You are now no more two. You are now one.
Yeah.
No, and you don't answer. Your body is not for you alone now. Now it belongs to the other person.
Yeah.
And also, in this aspect, I also see that whatever plans or vision or dreams that you have before you get married, make sure that you go into a relationship with somebody that can support your dream.
That will enhance.
That can help you to achieve that your dream.
Yeah, achieve your dream.
That is very important, even for a lady.
Some things you need to look out for.
Yes, somebody that can support your dream. If you are the type that wants to do masters, PhD, go into marriage with somebody that can help you. That will support you. Somebody that will tell you, or somebody that will be buying forms for you, or looking out for
sending you
so
links to opportunities.
In fact, that common could even be a sign to know that is this person the right person for me?
Or not. It could be a deal breaker.
But by the time you start seeing somebody that doesn't want hiding things from you, doesn't want you to, you should watch out for that kind of thing.
Remember that our neighbor. You understand? Then I use this example. I'm not mentioning him, but we had a neighbor many years ago where we lived before formerly. Who? In fact, the woman was a graduate, the husband was a graduate. The husband was working in the bank, but he did not want her to. In fact, she didn't even want to work. She wanted to do business. You understand? She had children, had a lot of children. He wanted her to do business, and she wanted to do business, but the husband didn't want her to work. He just wanted her to stay at home, be a housewife, and take care of the children. And and she's a graduate. So in fact, she realized what she told us now. She told us, this not say themselves that okay, we heard though. She told us kuro like this, that look, my husband is a dream killer. And I told my wife, I said, hey, when the woman tells you that her husband is a dream killer, it's a serious matter. I pray that there will not be some what do you call it, some temptation, maybe some altercation that person she can. That's when you hear someone stabs a husband stab wife, or wife stab husband. These are the kind of things, because these are built up, and this was a serious matter. In fact, we had to because they were neighbors. We had to go in and a lot of times try to solve issues, settle problems, settle the issue between them. So it's we left and we also left and whatever. But what I'm saying is that when that thing happened, I told my wife, I said, look, if these people had discussed about when they were cutting okay, what do you want to do?
What do you want me to do?
My husband, you want to be my husband? Where do you want? If the man say, look, because the man actually told me one on one that look, when we were growing up, our mothers were in the house.
Yes, our father was.
This was someone who at that time was in his 50s, maybe mid 50s. So he would have been born maybe 19 60, maybe early 70s or late 60s. You understand? Late 60s and now. It's not the same era. But he was saying, my mother was in the house, go work. You were only going to farm. So why should she go and work? That kind of thing. So when you are courting, you will get to know when you are relating with, when you ask questions, you get to know the kind of mind that man has. You understand? And all those things that what I put in that book that I talked about, what you need to discuss. So that I say, if she had asked those questions and was not blindly in love, she would have known that this man, he wants a housewife. So she would not ask herself, do I want to be a housewife? I want to do business. If I thought I don't want to work, I'm a graduate. She would, but because she did not do that, then the marriage was 2 out how many years living there? I was almost 8 years or so that I stayed. Or since we married, let's say like 6 years. 6 years. So throughout the 6 years that we were married there, in fact, it was crisis. So these are things that are very, very important. So it is very important for you to get to marry. To answer this question, I'm just based on what you said. To answer this question, it's always good for you to go into marriage with someone that is going to help support your dreams and your goals.
Yes,
you understand?
With the man.
And you also vice versa too, not just
that
yourself.
Support your vision.
Yes.
Not people that will be at the end of the day that this person is a dream killer.
Yeah, like that woman,
and then whatever dream as a woman that you are having, it should be something that you'll be able to carry your family along with it.
Yes.
Something that
of course, that will not be a detriment to your home, to your family, even as a man.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, I'm a guy, but I've turned down some opportunities or not gone on some lines of opportunities in my work just because I want to be responsible to my children. I want to be there for them while they are still young, so that they can, I can pass some things that I have across to them before they get mature and they may not have my time again. So it's some sacrifice. But it's very important. So, when you need to balance your marriage and your personal dreams and goals. Don't say, this is my dream, this is my goal. So, to hell with family. Let them take care of themselves. Me, I must achieve my... No. You are being very selfish.
Because what usually happens at that time is that at the end of the day, family is... People don't understand. Family is very, very important.
Yeah.
In fact, for example, like people used to say, let's look at what happened during the COVID time.
Yeah.
Every other system break down.
Yeah.
But it's only the family that. So if you go out, go and make the money, go and chase your dream and whatever, you are still coming back to something.
Yes.
To your home. By the time you now come back, if you have not really built your home in the way that you ought to build it, you won't have anything to come back to.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why you see some people they have money, but their children have gone out, they've gone wayward, and maybe they have broken marriage because of something. So, but if you get it right with your dream, carry your family along with it. Make sure that before you make sure that you get into a relationship with people that can believe in your dream, that can support your dream.
Can support you.
The other day I was saying about a person that said he is called to ministry. The person he wanted to marry cannot give him money. He borrowed money, and the guy was like insisting that he cannot even, maybe if it is just 2 naira.
Yes.
I am supporting, even if at that time
she could not support
that. That means that by the time,
Yes.
So
she was not,
these are some of the things that you
look transactional. She was being very transactional.
That's some of the things you look for, you look at.
So those of you who are not yet to marry, shine your eyes very well. Open eye. Don't let love blind. They say love is blind. My eyes are open. Shine your eyes. Very, very critical. Okay, last question here. How do you handle external influences, critics, or bad advice? I'll just say how do you handle external influences, critics, or bad? First of all, if you want to get married or you are married, don't have negative friends or bad friends or people who always tell you, and so no grief on. Like they will say in Nigeria, no grief.
Most of our own life has been within church.
Yes. So
within church. So
if I thought we have any friend or whatever, it's church.
It's
but they're not.
We
don't even have so many.
Even within the church, there's any. There's no. I don't have any other friend that is
outside
church or it's not. Doesn't have your own belief or belief system. So can you fall into that kind of? But that's why you need to choose
the kind of friend.
Like they says. A person that if you work with the wise, you become wise.
Yes.
But the companion of fools will be destroyed. So we are making friends. Even if you are colleagues at office, if you
Yes.
see that these people does not have the same mindset with you. I
Of
remember,
course.
as I was saying this, I just remember when you were working at a certain company, and you said that, that is at a particular time, maybe it was the evening.
Yeah.
The chairman will come
and start talking about
girls
do you have, and I worked in one whereby the chairman, because I work like directly, you know, say, do you have girlfriend? Do you have girlfriend? Do you have girlriend?
And each time you come over and complain.
Because he was, he was a widow. I mean, he was a widower, and he was
that's the lifestyle he was living, and most of the people around him. And I remember those time you come and say, this one, you want to resign.
Yes.
At that time, we needed the money. We needed you to go work. But at the time, I was telling myself, this thing is just all about money.
Yes.
This one that you are complaining about, is it not better for you to resign? Whatever we can, we live on it than for you to. So far, you are already saying that this thing is affecting your mind.
Yeah, of course. Because something you keep on hearing every day.
You have to just resign.
Working day. And you will say a way to a leaf that stays on soap for a long time becomes soap. And of course that's not my. I don't believe in having side chick or all this stuff.
You have to stop
so I had to. That's one of the reasons. That not the only reason, but that was one of the reasons why I eventually resigned and left that. And that was my last place of paid employment. So those things are very. So you need to, as you get into marriage, you need to have people that are not the people that are positive influence to you. Just like what Pastor was saying yesterday about. If you're in trouble, do you have friends that can pray for you? Or it's only friends that will analyze the bomb?
Friends that only gossip.
I have the latest gist about what happened. What happened in
something is happening in your home. Something is happening.
But if those are the only kind of friends you have, you don't have friends that can pray with you, or friends that can encourage you. When when your home is things are not going well with your husband or your friend, say, look, don't worry, it is possible. Not friend say, now so I better come out from the place, though. Or no, like they say in Nigeria this year, they say no grief for anybody, no grief for Amo. You want to want you down. You be woman, you be man, you want to want you down. No grief for Amo. When you have those kind of friends,
I'm by the grace of God, I myself, I don't advise people wrongly.
Yes.
What I won't do.
Look for friends that will give you positive advice. Or even say, okay, I will join you in prayer. I mean, if you have a friend that will say, look, this is your problem, I will help you, I will join you in prayer. That is a very good friend. So it's very important. So we, by God's way, we do not have any problem with negative advice. Nobody can come and tell me something negatively because we don't really have them around us. We don't have them around us. Okay. Now, what is the takeaway from this video in a nutshell that we have seen? We have seen that firstly is what you do in your courtship is going to affect your first years of what? Marriage. You understand? What you do in your courtship. What you do in your years of your marriage. And then we've also seen that don't break the bank because you want to do wedding. Very, very important. Don't break the bank because you want to do wedding. And also we also saw that the first years of marriage you are learning how to adjust, how to be married, how to stay in that marriage. So the first year of marriage is not always smooth. Don't expect it to be smooth because there will be some adjustments.
Yes,
and it's very.
We are the one that doesn't eat. That if you are married to somebody that likes to eat together, you have to make compromise for that. It's you have to make adjustments, even if you are not going to do it very regularly. Once in a while, you make adjustment for that. So, I want to just if you are married, I want you to just put in the comments what was your biggest surprise in your marriage, or did you come across any what they call shocks? I mean, not shock, surprise. If there were some surprises or some things, please put it in the comments section. We want to see it. And very importantly, before we go, we have I mentioned in the first video, we just started a Telegram group that is called the Married and Fulfilled Tribe. Just to share more about our knowledge about marriage, and also hear from others too. You can ask questions. You can ask questions if you're for yourself or for somebody else. You can learn so much more from one another. Or we can even bring questions and say, okay, look at this question, look at this situation. What should you do? Just like that woman we talked about.
that we know that said my husband is a dream killer, what would be your advice, to that woman? I mean, that would be a good question to put in the group, and in fact, it's going to generate a lot of comments and a lot of so we learn and we learn. And if you are single and watching it's a good place for you to be, so that you can learn so much before you get into marriage. So I'm going to put the link to the Telegram group somewhere in the description, or in the somewhere in the description. Please kindly click that link and join the Telegram group. If you don't have a Telegram account, just kindly get, of course, it's very free. Open a Telegram account and join us. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so now this is the second part 2 of this series. In the next series, which is the part 3, we're going to be talking about the storms we faced. Money, childbirth. We faced some storms, even though by God's grace we have not boxed each other. But we faced some storms in our marriage. We're going to talk about how we faced those storms, and how we overcame them, and how you can overcome storms if you come across them, because storms will come. I can assure you of that one. Marriage is never a bed of roses. Never ever. Storms will come because the devil is
like that story of the wise builder and the foolish builder. Jesus told that story. You build your house on the rock, you build your house on the sand. Rain will come, storms will come, wind will blow. And the same thing that happens to the house built on the rock is the same condition that will happen to the one that was built on the sand. But the only thing is that we survive, that we make, that we expose this. What is there is the foundation on each. You're already going to part 3. Okay. So, but then she has given you a tidbit for part 3. So, join us in the next, depending on when you watch this video. By the time you watch this video, most likely part 3 would already have been uploaded. So, look for it in the channel, or if you are watching the day we drop this video, just watch out for this particular video part 2. Watch out for the part 3. So, till the next video, next series, and next part 3. Bye.
Stay blessed. God bless you. See you later. Bye. Yeah, take care.